Hi everyone, we are live from DevTalks 2026. We are here with Madalina Sultan from AdsWizz. Hi Madalina, how are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you for having me here. It was very exciting to be part of this podcast.
Thank you for joining us. How was the event? How did you find it?
It was very nice. Actually, I'm participating to DevTalks like from the last 5 years or so, and I'm enjoying it a lot. During the recent years, I was just part of the audience, watching the stages and the conferences. This year, I'm also part of the AdsWizz stands, trying to give more information about the company.
Thank you for joining us for this discussion today. We prepared a few questions for you. And the first one is about the company. Can you tell us a bit about the story behind the AdsWizz?
Of course. Yeah, AdsWizz is not a very well known in Romania yet, unfortunately, even if it's a quite old company here. On short, it runs all the technology behind the largest digital audio advertising platform in the world. So it is a global leader in the industry. In very simple words, we are those annoying guys which actually insert ads in your audio stream or maybe in your audio podcast. But the good part is that those ads are really relevant for you because we try to personalize the ads and target the right listener for every product, to say it like this. I was telling that AdsWizz is quite old in Romania because it started as a startup. Back in 2018, since it was a success, it was acquired by an American company, first by Pandora and then by Sirius XM. Those of you who went to United States might know the name because they are the biggest providers of online radio through satellite, and they have some contracts with all the car providers. So most of the people in United States who drive and listen to radio are actually connected to our systems and with the ads that are served on those streams. That's the story on short.
For the company. Thank you very much for sharing all that. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
About my journey, yeah, I'm with AdsWizz for 7 years now. I started as a senior Java developer, specialized in this Java ecosystem, like all the microservices behind. Since 2021, I became the tech lead of my former team. And then I grew in that direction. Currently, I'm an engineering manager for 2 medium teams. One team is running the podcast monetization stack. So all those systems which are very important for podcasts, for inserting ads into the relevant podcasts. And also another team which runs, we call it content delivery, but it's actually the server which gets all the radio streams, insert ads into those, which are relevant for everyone. Like if you have the same online radio listened by 1 million people in the same instance, it might be that all of them get different ads depending on what we know about them. So that's really exciting. And I think this is what I like most about the company, that to me, at the beginnings, it seemed like a small domain, like a limited domain, this advertising world. But I figured out that it's actually the opposite. It's very large, it's very diverse, it moves very fast. Because even if we talk about podcasts, like we didn't have podcasts maybe in Romania 3 years ago, but now everyone listens to podcasts, everyone watches podcasts today, and it's this comes with a lot of challenges for every engineering, right? Because we talk about performance, about scale, about security, and these are all the hot topics we hear here at DevTalks on all the stages, and all the engineers considers these the really hard topics that are actually exciting for them.
Okay, thank you.
So it's still exciting for me. And even if I mainly do delivery management today, I'm still trying to stay close to my roots and still write some Java code today with agents. And so I'm still part of the developers, let's say.
It does sound like a lot and challenging and fast moving from what you say.
It is, yeah.
I don't know, how do you work? Is it a remote or a hybrid setting? And the question is actually, how do you keep people connected and help teams collaborate?
Yeah, good question. This is actually the most asked question this year at DevTalks. Are you hybrid or are you remote? So before the pandemic, of course, we were working just from the office. We have the biggest technology hub here in Bucharest. We were forced back in 2020 to move online, everyone. And I'm saying we were forced because it was really a very nice experience in the office. We had a lot of team events. The atmosphere was very nice. So we had to go with Zoom meetings. Since it was okay, the company started to spread outside Bucharest. So we started hiring in Iași, Craiova, Brașov, Cluj, so all the other big cities from the countries. And we kind of stay like this. The employees which are based in Bucharest are currently working in a hybrid way, which means being in the office like 2 or 3 days a week. But since most of the teams still have remote colleagues, we still use Zoom, like for all the meetings. We still hear that famous phrase like "you are on mute," even if we are in 2026, and it's working fine. We are also very fond of asynchronous communication. We use Slack a lot in our daily work. Actually, we use Slack more than emails. We had a very nice talk yesterday by Consultantul Cristi about emails. We don't write so many emails at AdsWizz, but we use Slack. And for example, for me as a manager, it's very important that everyone uses Slack as a collaborative tool. Like I try to avoid any private discussion on technical topics, like any one-to-one, and move all those discussions on the team channels, the technical channels, so that everyone in the team is informed, is involved, can grow if he wants to. And I know it sounds like context switching. Some developers will say so, but it's actually a way to grow, and it's actually more natural than being part of onboardings, meetings, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's working for us. The remote way of working, it's efficient right now.
Super. Thank you. Can you tell us something about I don't know, maybe innovations or projects that the company is working on right now?
Yeah, we have a lot of projects. As I told you, it's a very diverse domain. Not sure if I told this, but it's not an outsourcing company. It is a product company. And I think this is very important. I've been to several outsourcing companies, and I can tell the difference, because this means we own the products. We have also the backend systems that run everything, but we also have a product suite for podcast creators, for publishers, for advertisers. Like there is a different product for everyone. And due to this big portfolio of products, also the challenges are a lot. These days, we are very excited about our upcoming partnership with Apple Podcasts, for example, because we started as the digital leader for audio advertising, but since audio shifted towards video, we also entered into this domain. And maybe if this podcast will land on Apple Podcast in a month or two, and you will want to monetize it with ads, it might be that those ads will be inserted by AdsWizz. We are very excited because it's the biggest, most recent partnership with a very big name in the industry. We also had a very exciting partnership with YouTube, and the content creators which manage their podcasts to our products can push their videos directly to YouTube from our platform. We also have some exciting projects regarding satellites in United States, because some years ago it felt impossible to serve personalized ads for those listeners hearing through satellite because you didn't have a lot of information about them. But today it seems possible, and we are trying to actually personalize those ads even if they are served from satellite. And by this, I mean, maybe it's important to say that AdsWizz as a company doesn't know your name, your address, details about your kids or something like this. It just uses that information which is safe from a privacy perspective, like where you are, because you might be moving and maybe you are interested in what's around you. It uses maybe some data from your phone regarding the domains you are interested in, like if you are interested in live conferences versus interested in cars, things like that. So the idea is not to be annoying, but to actually help you with the topics you really care about. Yeah. And yeah, that's exciting. There are a lot of other projects also regarding, I don't know, how well you measure what you delivered, because of course, the guys who pay some money to get their ads delivered to the audience are interested in the results. I mean, okay, I spent this money, but was it effective? So we have a lot of projects in this domain. Sometimes it's also a lot of mathematics or algorithms, things like that.
It sounds like you're never getting bored.
That's really true.
It's a lot of.
Yeah, that's really true. Even after 7 years in the company, I can say that there are a lot of things I wasn't exposed to yet. Also, let's say we have a lot of colleagues which are in the company for an impressive number of years. Sometimes I say that it's easier to find someone who is in the company for more than 5 years than someone who is 1 year old, because they tend to stay. And there might be also a tendency of moving from one team to another. We have colleagues which do this because they find something new. It's like you stay in the same company with the same familiar people, but you get to experience other technologies, other frameworks, and other challenges. So yeah, it's huge from this point of view.
If we come back to this topic of people, I have one last question for you. What are some underrated skills that you think developers should develop nowadays?
Underrated. Well, I think it's not very much underrated, because I attended some conferences yesterday and I heard a lot of discussions in this direction. Yesterday, I heard Victor Renza from the Java stage calling this skill like shifting left. He was talking about programmers who needs to shift left and no longer care so much about all the code details, but care more about the business. I would say the same, but I would frame it a bit different. I'm calling this like zooming out. And what this means, right now, of course, we are in this AI era where everyone uses AI to write at least a tiny piece of code, the annoying one. But even before this era, I think everyone who worked in a cross-team project, for example, especially as a manager, had this challenge of seeing that programmers are very focused on the details inside their component, and they have a very hard way translating those internal concepts into something that the other person can understand, even if he doesn't have the internal knowledge. And I was always saying that programmers should zoom out more, like to be able to explain to everyone, even to their grandma, what they are working on. And I think in this in the future years where AI will be very used, programmers will really need to zoom out and improve their communication skills, let's say, and their ability to get the ideas out of their head and zoom out, translate them into something that AI agents will be able to understand, forget all the details, and try to think more like a business analyst or someone who really wants to promote the business behind. Yeah. So zoom out from the code and from the details and really try to understand what you are building. And here I think it's quite easier in AdsWizz to do so compared to other companies, because the business domain is very close to us. Like every one of us is exposed to music, to advertising. These are some concepts we can relate to. We are exposed to even outside work, so it gets easier than in other companies to do so, I think.
Thank you so much, Madalina.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
For all the information and for sharing all of this, and also all your enthusiasm.
Yeah, I was very enthusiastic about this whole conference. Thank you.
Bye.
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 All right.